marked out, back in an envelope, 2 stamps, and in the mail. And there's a thing going around that people younger and hipper than myself. But they've got this thing called, you can share it on Twitter, tag, roll up your sleeves. But you roll up your sleeves and you look, it says, one of the great presidents in American history, Bill Clinton, coming out.
And the American dream. This is a pretty easy goal. Let me ask you this. Do you want to be stuck in a past where we continue to subsidize the nation's biggest polluters and foul our environment? No! Embrace a future of a clean energy economy and reduce our lives. So if that's the future you want, if that's the bridge you want to build, it's not enough to fill out a survey or fill an auditorium. You've got to fill out your ballot. How many folks tonight have already done that? How many folks are going to go home and make sure that all their neighbors and loved ones have done that as well? Do in order for us to be able to say, ya voté, I voted. And I should also say this, in Spanish or in English. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. The people united will never be defeated. You know, on Thursday night, my opponent and I will have a chance to debate in Spanish, in español. And you can watch. And I give Congressman Kaufman a great deal of credit for learning that language, but I am here to tell you tonight, his record doesn't sound any better in Spanish. When you call the Dream Act a nightmare, when you call Social Security a Ponzi scheme, you're part of the problem.
That you need there to ensure that you participate in this wonderful experiment in self-government, our American democracy. So it's because of the phone calls that you're going to make and the doors that you're going to knock that we're going to win this election. We have the best volunteers ever. And here's a fact. This is a fact. We are surging. We have momentum. We're going to win this election. You can't trash talk your way up a mountain, you just go climb the doggone thing. That's what we're going to do over the next 9 days. Are you with me? That's the fun. Let's enjoy this wonderful state. While we're at it, we're going to have one heck of a party on November 4th, and then we're going to go back to work on November 5th to keep moving our state.
That's fine. But what you need to know is it happened, and therefore these decisions are really important because we have to decide. Here's what's really about. Nobody's talking to me. We have to decide whether we're going into the future together with shared opportunities for everybody willing to work for them, shared access to education and training so everybody will be prepared for it, and a shared sense that we've got to make these decisions together and go forward together, or whether we're going to go back to trickle-down economics where 1 or 2% of the people get 90% of the world. I don't care what they tell you, that is what is really all about, and that is what the United States is. need to stop thinking. Getting it all in and torn up and upset. They do not have my best interest at heart. There is something else going on. On the other hand, if somebody trusts me to disagree with us, says, here's what I think you should do, let's talk about it, I trust them. And I do like to go along with them, even if I didn't agree with them on everything. A little bit better for your pay act. And his opponents against all that. He also thinks he should fix the health care bill not performing. And I would say they've done the garbage job on this bill. I can say, here are the facts. Colorado has involved hundreds of thousands of people on the individual market health insurance. People who can't be covered for. And Mark promised you that he would leave the employer-based system as the bedrock of the health system, and it still is. But there's a bunch of people, about 10% of us, who don't get insured at work and have to rely on the individual health insurance system. Now, let's look at what happened. Before that bill passed, rates were going up an average of more than 16% a year in Colorado. Next year, they're going up 0.7%, and in Denver, because of that Medicaid expansion, where working families with up to 138% of the poverty line can buy and be part of the Medicaid program, you're going to have 22,000 more jobs. You've got $4 billion more coming into the Colorado economy, and it has cut the deficit. Cut the government deficit by $188 billion a year by 2020. If you don't want anybody to be able to insure their kids on their health policies when they're 26, if you don't want all these good things to happen, by all means, repeal it and give it back to the insurance. But it would be a mistake. Now, are there some